Hard to think of nature as beautiful when you're constantly accosted by the rumble of cars. Here's the trail. I feel like you're never actually on these videos. You make the, like, Charlie Brown cartoon appearance of, like...
This one will just be my heavy breathing.
You're out of shape, ASMR.
Okay.
It is super pretty, though. Wow. There's no good health reason why my heart should be racing like this. That's neat. Little bridge. If I could bring this sort of nice, cool sea breeze air into my room, I'd have no reason to leave. I've got my headphones, I've got the nice air, I've got
Make sure that doesn't happen.
Can contact people online.
What in my day they used to call a recluse.
I think they still do. I don't want to be sad anymore. I want to find, like, meaning and stuff. Be like, wow, the beauty of nature. Or, like, I sure do feel thing when I'm, like, out here.
Right.
Look at these little mushrooms.
You see animal bites out of it. I had a friend Willem, when we were hiking through Europe, through the Netherlands. He would make fun of the way I walk downhill. It's like I've never seen anyone walk down a hill like that. I've always kind of been a little paranoid. I have the feeling I looked somewhat like the runner who was doing this.
Yeah.
Because I'm walking down, I wouldn't make full contact. I think I would just like stay on my toes and yet not bend my knees. If I recall correctly.
I wonder if it looks similar to the way I tried to shuffle down the Great American Sand Dunes. It's like trotting like an owl.
Yeah, that was about it. I wish I had video of that.
You have video of my face during that, but I'm sure I'll have yet another chance with this series to embarrass myself in front of the public. As if dancing and yoga weren't enough.
How you feeling?
My head hurts, and my ears hurt, and my face is cold, and I'm covered in sweat. But at least I did it, I guess.
Yeah. what are the things you enjoyed?
There were some little mushrooms. Those were cute. It was hard though, like, I'm not normally in my head, but on days where I just feel bad, I just want to stay home.
Mm-hmm. But you got out and you did it.
I got out and I did it, and the whole time I was still like, life is suffering. But also, look, a mushroom. Great. It's been a very long while. Healthy breakfast. I'm making... Don't want to bother to pronounce that. Porridge with seeds and quinoa. I am stressed. I hate everything. I like living in Portland. I don't really connect to people. I feel like I've been like... I don't know, I'm just like weirdly frantic. Just, you know, casually reevaluating my entire life because my whole time, like, I've been like, oh, you know, I think too much. And then being immediately told, hey, maybe you want to think more before you talk to people because you're kind of hurting their feelings. They can't all be facts and data. And I'm like, I thought I'd fix that, but apparently not. And I guess, like, living in isolation for 5 years doesn't help with that. But, like, I was, like, learning. You know, everyone's telling me it's about empathy. And, like, first of all, empathy is the wrong word. I feel like a lot of people are low empathy, and that doesn't matter whether or not you're a good person. It's whether you have compassion, because compassion is an action. But I'm just tired. I forgot how much I hate doing schoolwork. It's not even tired, it's just stress. Like, I'm just... So anyway, porridge. I think I can retain this information for 3 to 5 minutes before it's wiped from my brain and I forget everything. Pinch of salt. So, how was your evening? You can't answer. I think I'm gonna add something. Don't know what. Maybe some fruit? Alright. Healthy breakfast achieved. I don't even know if you can see that, but like... Cheers to me. I think it's just that my surroundings have changed and I still feel mostly the same. I've been more active, I guess. I went to a rave. That's out of characteristic for me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm low energy today, so that's where I'm gonna stop filming.
One must work and be bold if one really wants to live.
prepared to say, oh, pretty.
Yeah. Kind of a, lumpy brown mush. Attractive for Valentine's. It does look good, actually. It's like a darker chocolatey color. Oh, it's cute. Fun. Alright, here we go again. It's been a while. It's cold up here in Oregon. Currently raining. And in the time I've been gone, my fantastic news has just arrived to say hello. And his name is Tav. And he's adorable. Thank you for coming to visit me while I was starting to film. So yeah, I've got a cat now. I'll still forever miss Miette. She was a noble companion for 10 years of my life. And genuinely no one will ever replace that sort of friendship and care that you can have with an animal. But I've realized since getting a cat back that it just sort of adds something to your life to have a little creature that you care about, that cares for you. What do you think about that, Toph? I don't know if the camera can hear your tiny baby meow. But he's 13 pounds. He's a Burmese. I think he's very silky and pretty. He looks like someone shrink rayed a panther. I went home to Colorado for a trip in December, and he was there at the Humane Society. And he was just the chillest cat, very regal presence. I want the people to see you, Tom. Except this isn't the way. There you are. Big stretch. And you may also notice that he is polydactyl, not only on his back feet, but also his front. He's a boy of many beans. Yeah, you're special. He's such a large cat, it's incredibly funny to hear him have such a dainty meow. But he's very affectionate. He's one of those cats that you can just sort of smush. Where you can just like grab his face, pet him. He likes having his belly scratched like a dog. He's wonderful. And I guess I got him in December, so it's really been a long time since I've filmed. Another update to my life. I have officially taken another YouTuber milestone. And I've dropped out of college. Yeah. It just turned out to be very unprofessionally managed, and I'm grateful for the people I've met there. I've sort of started to make friends. I have a bit of a hard time keeping in touch with them just because I'm such a deeply, introverted asocial person, where it's like, I really like people, it's just hard to decide that you're going to put in the effort to see them on a certain day and have obligation. But yeah, the school was just... There were many issues. A lot of the staff being, for me, petty, mostly. Taking to whispering about students behind their backs. Kicking students out for speaking up and disagreeing. There was a protest staged because former students had been attempting to make the founder listen and stop promoting things that were untrue or, in some cases, actively harmful, that the founder dismissed in the past and would not listen to. So I think the protest was incredibly necessary, and it became very clear that the founder was not interested in listening to students and what they have to say. And that's the major downfall of an organization where you're supposed to be helping people and working with students. It's a downfall of a lot of places. You should always listen. If someone takes an issue with it, you should at least take the time to consider it, you know? But that just does not seem to be something they were capable of doing. But I ended up paying more for a half a year or so of very disappointing education. When community college would have been like $4,000 for their entire program for a year. Which I definitely... I don't know where I go from here. And I want to get back into prompts and everything, but it's so ridiculous. The next prompt is literally just make a meal from scratch. But then I think about it and I'm like, well, I have to find a recipe and I have to buy all the separate ingredients and what about the ingredients? And I don't really have the patience. I hardly have the patience with myself and the connection to my own body to want to heat up something microwavable. That's about all I can manage at this point in my life. And it's hard to... hard to be okay with that, I guess. My, completionist mentality wants it all to be in order, some sort of cohesive narrative, some sort of step-by-step thing to follow, so I'm not just wandering in the dark, but I think a lot of life's just going with it, and I don't know if or when it gets better, but it certainly changes. I continue to be incredibly awkward in social situations. I've talked to a neighbor of mine recently, and we both just sort of stared at each other until he went away. And I'm so out of practice talking to people, but also just... the small talk doesn't interest me. And it's not like every conversation has to be like, hey, you know, what do you think life's purpose is? But I want it to be something... I think I've learned about myself that I have to be doing something else with other people instead of having the other people be the only thing. I don't know. What do you think, Tav? I also feel very bad for my downstairs neighbors because Tav is a wonderful and chatty but quiet cat. Very chill. And we bought him lots of toys. There's a little fluff ball that I have for him. Though his favorite seems to be an avocado pit that he rolls around on the floor at odd hours of the night. So, to the apartment below me, if you've been thinking for a while, man, those neighbors sound so disrespectful. What's even going on out there? It sounds like a cat is rolling an avocado pit across the floor. It's because this cat has been rolling an avocado pit across the floor. Obligatory cat footage. I have noticed that I was going through some old files from my computer and found my first attempts at filming and making my own YouTube series at the age of 9, which I'm glad is not out in its unedited form on the internet. I'm thankful I was not successful in posting it. But it's reminded me that even at the age of 9 in 2011, that I was still making something. Filming and having fun and sharing media has been something consistent in my life that's been very meaningful to look back on. And I've realized that even though it's been slow, weeks, months, years, every time I stop, I still come back to it somehow. And life isn't a circle. It may seem like you've circled back to right where you've been before, but I don't remember where I heard this metaphor. It's really more like a corkscrew, where you may be circling back, but you're not in the same place. You change, and you have that knowledge, and it is still moving forward, even if it doesn't feel like it. And maybe I'll circle back to whatever it is. Are you attacking my feet? Are you serious? I'm not gonna show my feet on camera because this is the internet. But this little garbage man, whom I love dearly, has taken to slapping me at his own leisure whenever he wants to be pet. And it's not hard, but it's very surprising. And annoying. You know what you've done, Beanie Baby. You come back around to things that you care about. And the things that you care about may change. Will change. And especially, I found they do for me. This is kind of rambling, but that's another thing in my life that's changed since I've been away, is I've discovered schizoid personality disorder. I don't know, I have a certain interest in. I am not professional enough to, or professional at all, to diagnose myself or others. But there was a sort of relief to finding symptoms, mostly the experience of that sort of hollowness that's beyond depression, where it's not really that emotional sadness, but just the lack of deep pain, but also lack of deep joy. And so I'll be looking into that more. It was a lot more of a calming feeling. Like there's a reason that I'm this way, and it's not just that I'm... It's such a stupid thing to think, but that feeling that that feeling of finding people you're supposed to fit in with that are like the outcasts or the weirdos, and still being weird or feeling left out among them, has been a very difficult problem for me. And so knowing that I wasn't just like doing depression wrong, and that it's not my fault, and while there are low prospects for cures, at least it has a name. I'm living with it, and moving on, getting up to, I want to say make the most of every day, but I'm not at the point where I can do that. I know I could push myself to do more. I just also know it would leave me exhausted and burnt out for the rest of who knows. So I feel like I can't claim I'm doing my best, but doing the best I can while remaining in a stable state, and sort of learning to not feel like not be harsh on myself, or feel like I'm taking away something from other people, or that since someone else's pain is worse than mine, that I'm not allowed to take up space, I guess, is what I'm saying. So I've decided this is my era where I take up space. And I may not be making the absolute most of it. I may not be striving for that deep, aspirational, work hard American ethic. But I'm still going to live, and that means something. And maybe this is my cringe era. Maybe I just do whatever. With Tav as my witness. I don't have the perfect words, I don't have the life experience to prove it, but I'm going to change, and I'm going to make things. And together somehow, with everyone I've met and everyone I've connected to, anyone who's watching this video, I think we can do something more. Leave the world somewhat better. Pretty much anything might be better than how we found it, but now is not the time for fatalism. It never has been. I guess radical self-acceptance is the first step. And this is me doing something about it, I guess. Yeah, I'm going for it.
So, what's up? This is one of my videos, and, you may notice I've changed with the pink streaks and all, but, okay. Well, this is my phone. In case you're wondering, my name's Anna. I was just really missing the videos, and have fun. Oh, and enjoy watching the previous clips.